The world is a different place these days. Now, here in Japan, we're still afforded relative freedoms. The restaurants are teeming with customers. People are still going to work. Now, I was curious about what my friends around the world are experiencing in their everyday lives. Places like New York City, Waikiki, London, Buenos Aires, and a lot more. The similarities are shocking.
Hi everyone, my name is Anita. I have been in self-isolation since last week. It's only been a few days, but it feels like it's been forever.
Alejandro in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The government has asked everybody here to stay at home. We also have now the military in the streets controlling everything.
Greetings, Earthlings. Mr. Von Gomm, how's everything in Tokyo? Down here in Bali, Indonesia, everyone is a little confused. Everyone is a little worried.
Hey everybody, this is Sean and Amy Morgan reporting from Taipei, Taiwan. And there's Guai Guai. This hit us a couple of months ago since we're so close to China.
Aloha, Peter. We wanted to tell you what's going on in Waikiki, or this is on one side of Waikiki. You can see Diamond Head there in the background.
You can see that there's hardly any people here. It's usually a lot more people on the beach here.
This is my friend Ollie from New York City. He's currently on a strict lockdown. Wow. However, he got some really good footage for us just before the lockdown started.
This is the line for Trader Joe's. It's 9 in the morning. They just opened. Look at this. It goes around the corner.
My friends Britta and Heiko are from one of the hard-hit areas in Europe.
Not much different than usual at the moment, except the people are doing panic shopping.
This is Steve from Michigan. These truck drivers are gods now.
I am trucking, man. I've got cleaning supplies I picked up in the Toledo, Ohio area, taking it over to Maryland. Hopefully it'll save a few lives.
And meet Evan. He's just a few days away from flying to Japan to start a new life. Or maybe not.
Down to the last 3 or 4 weeks when everything's starting to fall into place, we have a global pandemic, and so the whole world is upside down, and here it is 3 or 4 days before I'm supposed to leave, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to leave.
Boris Johnson recommended that people start working from home from last week, and we've been lucky because my husband's able to do that. I, on the other hand, just started a new business, an online clothing business, just before this started. It was doing quite well, but obviously sales have gone down.
Well, I work the same as you. I work by voice acting and recording at home, so I've been able to work at home.
Ollie started a dating app called Flip, and apparently with all the people on lockdown, it's really rocking.
Taiwan's done a really good job of containing it. However, this week we have seen a spike, all of which came from Europe and the States. So Taiwan has now basically closed its borders.
March 26th, right? There's a quarantine by our governor.
Yes, for all incoming visitors and residents. So that means if you come to Hawaii expecting to spend time outdoors, you'll be surprised. You'll be quarantined in your hotel room for 14 days.
You walk around the streets right now and there aren't very many foreigners. A lot of the foreigners who live here are a little bit worried they can't come back in.
You will be quarantined for 14 days as soon as you get here, is that correct?
They've said they're going to pick me up from the airport, so they're arranging the place for me, so yeah, they have to do a quarantine, and I think they're going to be, they said they'll supply me with everything I need.
So Boris Johnson has predicted this will take at least 12 weeks, but really who knows? I have a feeling it's going to be much longer.
And also you will be tested for the virus, I would imagine.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that at all.
Which I've heard is incredibly painful. I'm just kidding.
Because I thought it was just a swab.
Spending time at our villa here, my wife and kids, just hanging out. We're not giving in to the fear that's being put out there in the media and stuff like that.
The road that leads you down to Leicester Square, as you can see, is completely deserted. The famous screens of Piccadilly Circus, mainly deserted.
I'm alone in a very popular park in East Village. because there is a lockdown right now. You can't go out.
Now you're looking at Waikiki, and it is never this empty. This is
The
crazy.
government says we should stay at home, but we can go for work, for shopping food.
To go to the supermarket before everything this started, I went to the supermarket and tried to buy things to last for a couple of days so that I didn't have to go outside again. The primary needs stores are still open. You want to go to the supermarket, that you only go by yourself and not you, your wife.
Food, you can still go out. We're not on lockdown here. There's a grocery store I go to in our neighborhood, and they actually they'll test your temperature before you even go in the store.
When we've been out, there haven't been that many people at the restaurants, and maybe the supermarket's been a little bit busier, but
All the NYU students come here for drinks, food, and now it's closed.
We definitely did not stockpile and panic buy at all. As soon as I saw the shelves emptying in the supermarkets, I decided not to go there because the queues were horrendous.
The places are open for takeout, but you can't sit in a restaurant and eat.
All the dining in places now, it's only takeout you can do at restaurants stuff, yeah? This is our home supply. Instant ramen, Spam. We have 1 case of toilet paper, lots of soap.
I did panic a bit when I realized we didn't have any wine, but I was able to order a case on Amazon, which is coming today, thank God.
The truck drivers are kind of almost being treated like the veterans when they came back from the Iraq War, Iraqi War, kind of like a hero's welcome. So I kind of feel a little bit right now like a celebrity. A lot of people are asking me questions.
Borders have been closed for a couple of days now. The police is going around with loudspeakers saying, we're having a very special situation, quarantine, please stay at home, because there are still people who go out to walk their dogs or to jog, and they don't understand that we have to stay at home.
We can't stop working. If we stop working, the country shuts down. There's no food, there's no toilet paper, there's no hand sanitizer, so we have to keep going.
I actually was traveling. I went to the Philippines 2.5 weeks ago and came back with a small head cold, so I had to get tested for the virus.
We do know someone who has all the hallmark symptoms, high fever, and he was having difficulties breathing, but not so severe enough that he could go to hospital and actually be tested for it.
It was negative, but I was asked to quarantine myself. So I have been quarantined for 14 days.
The good news is that I saw his latest Facebook post and he seems to be recovering. So it just shows you how careful you have to be and to really take this social distancing and self-isolating seriously.
Many people see these days as holidays, and they have left their homes towards the coast, and police are very angry, and we are very angry with this kind of people.
The people in the UK have been told to social distance, to self-isolate, but the few times I've been out in the car and driving by cafes, you see people milling about and kind of like laughing and joking around like it's some big party or they're on holiday.
They can trash everything that we are putting lots of effort to accomplish this, to stay at home, to not spread the virus.
And what they say is we're 2 weeks away from the peak and people will maybe finally start to understand the severity and the seriousness of this.
And these idiots that do not comply with what the government has asked are throwing all of that into the trash.
Retailers that are selling their wares left and right, and no one's in these shops, but they're all trying to get you to come in, and there's nobody else on the streets.
Up over Westminster Bridge. There's the London Eye to the left.
This is Ala Moana Beach Park. But people are disregarding it and still going to the beach.
Yeah, you can see the yellow tape.
Diamond Head, we're looking at it. It's closed. You can't even drive in there.
It's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night on St. Mark's Street. This street is usually very, very packed. Now it's a ghost town.
At the famous Oxford Circus crossing, and not a soul in sight. And I'm feeling a bit of like, oh my God, when am I going to be able to shop here next? Oh.
It's all going to lead to somewhere really, really dark, I think, for the world.
There was a a small toilet paper run last week, I think.
You looking for me?
There was a toilet paper crisis in the States.
It's no problem getting toilet paper, and Indonesia doesn't use a whole lot of toilet paper anyway.
People were hoarding it. A black market developed for it.
You take the spray guns in your butt. That's been a fun experience.
Police were going in and arresting people for selling toilet paper.
Do you have enough toilet paper and other supplies?
I think so.
I love being popular.
I was really lucky. I don't know how this happened. I usually never buy more than a 9-pack roll of toilet paper. But like 3 weeks ago, I bought 16-pack. And we still have a lot left.
Oh, everybody loves me now.
Just became a father of little Aurora. Most of my family and my friends haven't been able to meet my daughter, which is kind of sad, but well.
Unfortunately, we had to cancel our weekend trip to Berlin, and probably we also have to cancel our trip to Japan in May.
It's encouraging to see the creativity and what people are able to do with their time. It's almost like grown-ups are getting to be kids again.
I want to go out, of course, but whenever this stops, we are going to receive our friends and family.
The first thing I want to do after this trouble ends, I guess I'd like to have an adult beverage with my friends again. It's been a while, Mr. Von Gomm.
And the first thing I'd want to do is organize a massive blowout with all my mates at the pub, where we actually can see each other face to face, give each other hugs, because this drinking at home business is just not working for me.
I really miss my friends. Worst thing is I'm stuck here with my parents, so sorry. But you know, it's good to spend quality time with your family.
I probably have to go home very soon. I don't want to get arrested or something. Now you know the situation in New York City. Stay safe, everyone.
She's doing good, Guai Guai. We're okay. We hope everyone else out there is doing good.
So that's what's happening here in Hawaii. All right, back to you, Peter.
I wouldn't sweat it out too much. It's just a delay.
It's just a delay. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate the encouragement.
Peace and good night from Bali, Indonesia. Signing off, JR.
So stay safe, people, and please, please, please think about each other and do what's best for everybody. We need that. Stay safe.
I love New Yorkers. Even in the darkest of times, they can still find humor in things.